Welcome everyone to the first episode to our brand new series on the channel, Dragon Ball Spinoffs. Now, what we're gonna do here is that I decided to start creating a series where we're gonna cover like Dragon Ball spinoff, like stories that could be great spinoffs that lead off from the main, timeline and stuff. Now, right now, of course, this is all coming off the upcoming new series, Dragon Ball Daima, and of course, we're looking forward to see what this is going to be about. We got a couple of spin-offs throughout the years. We got, Dragon Ball GT, we got Dragon Ball Super, we got Dragon Ball Heroes. But now we're going to cover some stories that maybe might be good, spin-off stories that we can actually, look into. So for this first episode, it's only right we're going to set it off with Goku Jr. having his own spin-off series, because that kind of was teased at the end of GT with, showing Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. fighting in the World Martial Arts Tournament. And then later we got a special with a Hero's Legacy, which kind of just gave a little bit more backstory to Goku Jr. But I feel like this will be a great spin-off series, because at this point, this is 100 years in the future after the events of GT. Now we get Goku, who's kind of like, showing up, and he's pretty much essentially like a god at this point. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's pretty much be able to disappear, hasn't aged, he's still around and kind of still like watching over the earth. But we still didn't really get a exact, what happened to Goku. You get what I'm saying? So at this point, I think starting fresh with Goku Jr.'s character, it will be a great series to start off, because at this point we'll get introductions to new characters. We'll kind of get backstories of like, what happened to the rest of the Z fighters, like their descendants and stuff like that, and pretty much building a new world. And kind of like what they're trying to do with Daima, which I feel like they could have did that with this without having to like, right now we don't know what to expect with Daima. Like, a lot of people suspect that the characters would be nerfed, like Goku wouldn't have his UI or even his Super Saiyan God, or maybe even Super Saiyan transformation. So right now we clearly just don't know what to expect with that. So we're just speculating off of what a lot of the fans are thinking when it comes to that show. But if we use something like Dragon Ball GT, for instance, where we get Goku Jr. and having his story, him just learning Super Saiyan, it will kind of feel fresh. It'll kind of bring life back to some of the old things that we've seen. And maybe we could even bring back, like I said, the classic fighting from like Dragon Ball, which this is what Daima is kind of like trying to expand upon. But they could have did this with, Goku Jr. and pretty much expand his character, see his growth from him growing, because you kind of see similarities to Gohan with him being timid, but later on he kind of brushes this off, and you kind of see that the innocence of Goku and Goten in him. But then he also has the homage of the red headband like Bardock. So there's a lot of different things that they could have kind of like, ended up growing a new adventure, making the Dragon Balls and kind of like everything to a smaller scale relevant. Now they don't have to get villains as strong as, pretty much now they'll be recreating everything of like just the power. But this time maybe we'll get a different, mutation of like Super Saiyan transformation. This will happen a little bit different, but it will scale things down a little bit and give them time to focus on more of the world building internally than just having a bunch of like, different random planets and stuff. So for there, they can make a lot of characters more relevant again. Characters like Piccolo, you know what I'm saying, or his descendants, or what's going on with Dende and, Master Roshi. These characters can come back to step in to train, Goku Jr. to have him study and kind of like, master his martial arts. And of course, Pan will be there to help him out and kind of get some more backstories, like what's going on with the rest of the family, like where's, Gohan and Goten, or who are, Pan's kids, what happens to Goku Jr.'s parents, stuff to that nature. What's going on the side of Bulma's family and Vegeta, like, who is Vegeta Jr.'s parents, you know what I'm saying, where's his father? And, there's a couple of different things that we get to see, and I feel like that would be something interesting for us to kind of have going on. And pretty much it'll answer some of the questions of like where Goku went and how will Goku play a factor in, kind of like still watching over everything, and have him like a character like not really there, but maybe even just give, more insights, because knowing Goku, he's probably taking care of things on a bigger scale. So at the time of GT, there was no, different universes, but let's say Goku took on a role of pretty much him going to different worlds where he's fighting, other threats or things that's like the negative energies created by the Dragon Balls, and going around defeating, shadow dragons or things to that nature. We don't know. So there's just so much stuff that they can play with when it comes to, creating more story and pretty much creating new characters that we can pretty much get a chance to develop. And pretty much at this point, like I said, everything will feel brand new with him developing things like Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 and even Super Saiyan 3 transformation, and later on maybe even trying to get his own Super Saiyan 4. And with things like Super out now, that would definitely create a bigger realm for, the things about the God transformation, just more things to pretty much expand the story on. And I think that would be something definitely good as a good spin-off to just kind of like refresh everything, which is Dragon Ball, and pretty much still keeping everything, Dragon Ball not too far off, but just pretty much starting off stuff in the future, seeing how things change, probably implementing things from like, Dragon Ball Online and, Dragon Ball Xenoverse somewhat a little bit, and pretty much just creating a whole new world that's kind of different from what we've seen back from Dragon Ball Z, Super, and GT. Just creating a brand new world and seeing how things is in the future. And just like I said, it's interesting just to see the descendants of the family, like, Krillin's family members, or what happened to characters like Tien, Yamcha, Goten, Trunks, you get what I'm saying, Bulla, Pan, all these different characters that was there. There's so much room for them to pretty much expand the Saiyan race and other characters. Or is Dende still the guardian of Earth at this point? There's different things that we can look forward to, and just seeing the differences, or was there like a major threat that happened to be the reason why, Goku Jr.'s parents are not around, or things, you get what I'm saying? So there's so much things that can, questions to be answered, giving more insights to the story of like what happened to his parents, or what happened throughout the generations of those 100 years, you get what I'm saying? So even that will be something interesting and stuff like that to see. And I think that this would be a good start for like a Dragon Ball spinoff. Instead of us getting Daimon a little bit, you already have a Kid Goku type character who may be a little bit different, developing his personality, with not making him too much like Gohan, but not too much like Goku, and pretty much creating his own personality for himself, and pretty much creating something different. And I think that will be something interesting and stuff like that, where we can implement things today that we see in a lot of new anime and pretty much put it in the Dragon Ball way and format. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 1. Like I said, this is just the first episode. We got a lot more coming. Like I said, I don't want to give off episode 2 yet, because it's definitely in the works, and also episode 3 as well. We got a lot of ideas to cover. Like I said, this is just the introduction. This is the first one. Like I said, check out my How Strong is Goku Jr. video. Is a companion piece to this one as well. Like I said, we didn't give too much because, like I said, we don't have too much information on Goku Jr., but there's just so much room, since we don't got so much information, for them to develop and work with, and pretty much do so much things creatively when it comes to a character like Goku Jr., about his power and making things go in a different direction and stuff like that, outside of just the regular Super Saiyan transformations going up 1 through 4, or even just the God transformation. Maybe he might develop something totally different from him just being so far down the line when it comes to, just his bloodline in general, and just seeing like how much different does the hybrid factor, mutates and change the genes and stuff, because we do know the hybrids just keeps on getting more advanced, even though the Saiyan blood is getting diluted with the human blood. But maybe it's creating a new type of hybrid blood where it's enhancing that Saiyan blood that's in it, because that's kind of like what we've seen with Gohan and of course Goten and Trunks, and these characters who was able to access Super Saiyan at a young age, or Gohan just having a hitting power. And for him being Goku Jr. being part of, like, directly to Gohan, seeing that, Pan is his grandmother and stuff like that. I mean, he has to be more linked to Gohan's bloodline than rather Goten per se. So he may have that same genetic thing that Gohan had about, his hidden power just going up and down out of control. So that could be something that's totally worked, something totally different, because now we're having a character at a young age who has Super Saiyan abilities to tap into, and maybe it could definitely play a factor to like how they grow this character and stuff like that. So it's all just really depends on which route they go with that, if they was to make a spin-off series about Goku Jr. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to drop a like, hit the share video, hit the notification bell. We got more videos like this. Follow us over on Twitter, or I should say X. We also on TikTok as well. We got an Instagram that's coming soon. We just got to get around to it. Like I said, go check out all our old videos. We got classic Akira Toriyama videos on the channel where you can get to see more of his lifestyle and his legacy, and see like how he got started and everything that he had going on the channel. There's a lot more coming, like I said. And like I said, we're going to have a lot more coming. We're thinking about making a second channel to cover like other medias, like other animes and movies and stuff like that. We're still thinking about it right now. We got a couple of other videos, like Naruto videos on the channel, but I'm trying to think if I should just create another channel. So get in the comments, tell us what do you guys think. Should I make another channel? What do you think about Dragon Ball spinoff on Goku Jr.? Tell us, what is your idea if you was to create a spinoff? What would it be? Or is it a good idea for, Goku Jr.? Just tell us anything you want in the comments.